So welcome back. This is episode 2 of our Persia feudalism style campaign. I'm not an expert at this game, pretty rubbish at it to be honest, but I do enjoy playing it now. I never used to like it in the early days. I do like it now, and Persia is one of the play styles that I really like, because you can, especially since I discovered the idea of of vassalizing all of these surrounding states and trying to create just a superpower in this region. So in the last episode I actually managed to, if we click up here on our flag and have a look at our diplomacy, we can see we now have a number of tributaries. So we've got Bukhara up here, which is actually pretty nice. It's got a GDP of 1.6 million, 1.06 million. So because of that, if we look at our income, we're getting over 3,500 just off diplomatic pacts. You can see that we've got tributaries. We've got Bukhara, we've got Khiva, so we did make our way up this way. We've also got Kalat, we've got Makara down here. Who else have we got? Makran, and at the bottom. Oh yeah, Kokand up there as well. Always feels weird saying that name, but there we go. So we've got them. The only ones that we haven't actually got yet over here are Afghanistan, which we're going to get, but unfortunately we are both unrecognized regional power, and I think that's what we are as well. Yeah, we're an unrecognized regional power. So soon as my rank goes up a little bit, I'm gonna wage war on Afghanistan. We want to make sure, of course, that I'm going to put this on a slow speed just so we're moving along. I want to make sure that I'm investing in the military, because they have 50 battalions and then they can conscript as well. I think that's what that means, plus 49 conscripts. They don't have a navy, of course, because they haven't got the sea region, and if I go to war with them, it doesn't make any difference about navy anyway, I don't think. If we have a look at Afghanistan and take a look at their diplomacy, they're improving relations with the Sikh Empire, but they don't actually have any defensive agreements or anything like that. So yeah, and I think in order to increase our prestige, that's going to happen passively as we build up our navy, because that's something that we're going to be doing. So if I just have a quick look at our construction queue, you can see what I'm doing here. You can see we're building the arms industries up into Briz at the minute, and that's because you can see we've got currently a shortage of small arms in our market. The reason there's a shortage is because in the first episode I invested heavily in the army. We invested in research to get line infantry, and then I gave the order to upgrade all of the line infantry, all of the irregular infantry to line infantry, and by doing that we unfortunately ended up with a shortage of small arms. So we're building up the small arms industry, but of course when we build up the small arms industry, that means that it requires iron and hardwood. Well, we've got hardwood now because Makran, our logging camps in Makran, we gave the order to shift over to hardwood production, so that sorted that out. But unfortunately iron is still a little bit, if we go back to local prices, we can see that iron, it's not actually that bad. No, it's actually under the average price by 11%, so it's not too bad. But we are expanding this. So we've got a couple of iron mines, maybe just one. I'll just build one iron mine into Briz, and then we're going to expand our military, our naval bases in Kerman, so down here. So in the first episode, Oman obviously controlled the port here. We managed to take that back without a fight. So that's the update. Yeah, we've got the naval bases, we're going to build some logging camps, and we're going to open a few cotton plantations in Kerman as well, and they're going to be able to supply the raw materials to get man o' wars, and that's going to support our naval expansion. So there you go. So that's what's happening there. Development wise, we've got we've got a little bit of bureaucracy up here, 63. If we look over at our institutions, it takes 68 to upgrade our institutions, so it would be nice to pass a few laws. You can see there's actually poor laws that we're in the middle of passing at the moment, so this will reduce radicalism, because a lot of the radicals at the moment are going to be of the lower strata, and the reason they're going to be radicalized is because of the standard of living. That's the highest one there by the looks of it. Discrimination as well. One of the reasons I didn't choose to conquer state when it comes to all of these ones here is because if we look at the populations living Didn't want to do that. In Kiva, information. Let's have a look. Where am I looking? Here we go. Population. So if we're looking at this, they're hugely Turkmen. They're discriminated in our culture, in our country. Sunni are also discriminated. Same over here. Pashtun are discriminated against. Culture would be discriminated, but it's not actually present in Persia at the moment. So if I was to just conquer these things, and that's, yeah, we'll address that in a minute, but we've got poor laws now, which is nice. Hopefully we'll see this come down. Yeah, look at that. There was a minor reduction in radicalism, a huge leap in loyalists, so that's good. But yeah, so you can kind of see that if I was just to conquer these, we've got a lot of people suddenly in Persia who are prejudiced against, and before you know it, we're not very harmonious. So it's just great to have these as vassals instead, which is why I've called this feudalism, because I figure, right, we're going to be Persia, we're going to be surrounded by vassals who all give us a little bit of money. So yeah, we've got 3.82k, and that's just going to increase, isn't it? It's just going to increase as they start to develop and build up their economies as well. So next target is going to be Afghanistan, probably Oman actually, because if we look at their diplomacy, they don't actually have any defensive pacts or anything like that at the moment, so it would be nice to just move across and start expanding up this sort of African peninsula as well. Problem is, of course, is my navy at the moment. I'd have to do a naval invasion, and my navy at the moment is just not up to scratch. We've only got 4 flotillas. We'd need at least the same amount as what we have in our army. So if we look at Oman, and we have a little mosey at there, they've got like 24 battalions, so let's say 30. If I had an army of 30, that means I'd need a navy of 30. So if they've got 24, I want an army of 30. That means I need a navy of 30 to get a successful naval invasion. So if I shoot off and look at my navy, it's just completely under par at the moment. It's like 4. So that's why over in the construction queue here, we've got a massive investment. I'm going to push this onto 3 anyway. We've got a massive investment in naval bases, and we just need, and also this is in Kerman down here, so a massive investment in naval bases. If we have a look at the naval base here, training rate is 16. I thought I actually had enlistment. I have got enlistment efforts to increase that, so I think that does include the enlistment efforts as well. So yeah, we just got poor laws. That's why, of course, we saw a massive, not a massive reduction in radicalism, just a little bit, but a massive increase in loyalists, thanks to poor laws. What else could we look at here? So we've already got professional army. That's going to be really important, especially since I'm going to be invading all of my neighbours. Afghanistan, yeah, so as our navy is massively increased, our prestige will increase, our rank will increase. That means that we'll be a slightly higher power than Afghanistan, and that'll allow me to turn them into a vassal as well. Currency standards is unlocked. Let's have a look where we're going to go next. Oh, banking. I've already selected banking. And the reason I did that is because I'd like to get down to central archives, but there is a lot more to academia, medical degrees. This will allow me to reduce the mortality so that we can keep our labourers alive. And if we're going to build up a huge army and we're going to build up a huge navy, we need lots of people. So I might actually, because banking, what does that do? Yeah, we're currently 120k an hour. Yeah, I'll keep it on banking for now, just because of the minus figure there. But I think that minus figure is just because there's quite a lot of stuff that's expensive at the moment. If I just have a quick look at my goods again, well, we can see the small arms have now been, so our small arms factories have been built into Briz. That's tooling workshops. So they're fully staffed. That's brought down the cost of small arms, which is great. I think the biggest expense for me now is probably paper. So the biggest government expense now is definitely paper. So I wouldn't mind expanding the paper industry, because we are actually going to jump up to, we're going to upgrade our government buildings. If we go on development down here, you can see that there's still Khorasan and Iraq. I'm just going to say that it's not Iraq, but yeah, Khorasan and Iraq. Those two I'm still needing to upgrade, but that's going to cause a shortage in paper, so we'll add paper to the list. Academia is unlocked, so that gives me wealth, education access, allows me to build universities, private schools. Don't know why that's gone off. Factories in Khorasan have been reported to be replacing Turkmen people into roles with incredibly poor work conditions owing to their status as second-class citizens in Persia. I know, as businessmen have a reputation for only caring about the bottom line. That may be true for some, but the way I see it, any venture must be built on a strong foundation of values. The Turkmen don't understand those values. How could they? Those are our values. Alright, so this will reduce the approval of the... why does it keep going off? Did it... That was... Oh, it's because I'm on speed 4. Fuck's sake. Anyway. I think that was going to default to reducing this, which is fine. We can afford that to go down to 8 anyway. Not too bothered about conversion at the moment. Yeah. We've got a little bit of... authority free there as well, so Kerman, just make sure that I've got road maintenance going, I've got enlistment efforts going, the naval bases are doing well. Let's have a look and see how they're doing. So naval bases are getting built. There's going to be a lot of people being recruited. If we have a look down the bottom here, we can see we've got almost 50,000 peasants. Most of them are job seekers. They're all lower strata, so that means that the servicemen are going to be easy to employ, at least that's the way I understand it. It says that we're not fully able to educate everybody, so why don't we do social mobility down there as well, since I've got the authority for that. And like I say, that up there does for some reason I thought that had, it's just a negative for minus 20% education access, but that's whatever, that's fine. We can actually build universities now, so it might be a good idea to build a university. That also requires paper. Academics, clergymen, clerks. So academics, middle strata, lower strata. I think we do lack middle strata in Kerman. I could build a university then, and I'm wondering if we can just do a greener grass campaign and maybe get people over there. Or alternatively, I could just simply build a university in, because we've got like 213. A lot of them farmers are they middle strata? Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, so I could build a university in Tiberias. Let's add that to the list. So what we're looking at, we're completing the naval bases in Kerman. Then we're going to build some logging camps and some cotton plantations to get the wood, the fabric, all of those raw materials to be able to build the man of wars. And then we've got paper mills and a university to be done as well. Let's put on to speed 5. That's the thing with this game, it's the only Paradox game that I ever play predominantly in a speed 5. There's very few occasions where I can bring that down. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm constantly changing my mind and things like that, but I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to cancel out university for now, and I'm just going to get the paper mills expanded there. And once those paper mills are expanded, then we're going to, if we click on this one, we can see that Tabriz has a taxation capacity issue. It's not even there. It's not even there. Let's have a look at the development. It's in Khorasan. Yeah, and that'll increase it by 10. Anyway, once that paper factory's been built, I can then upgrade these two and get them upgraded, and that'll sort that bureaucracy shortfall out. What's our navy looking at? We're boosted up to 6 now, so training rate is alright. We're sort of getting up there. As soon as that gets to 30, I'm then going to be able to do a naval invasion of Oman. We're still an unrecognised power. Let's have a look at this. So prestige is 91. Unrecognised power. Where does it tell me? Unrecognised regional power. If the prestige of Persia is reduced, Now, if the prestige of Persia becomes at least 125, their rank will increase, and I'm currently on 91, and I'm getting that from predominantly the country tier, power projection, so that's definitely from the army, right, and power projection from the navy, and that's what I'm working on now. 5% from the ruler traditional commander. Okay, so yeah, I guess I'm just going to focus on building up the navy, and that's going to sort me out with a stronger rank. What have we got? Resentment, favoritism. I'm not going to let this slow this down a second. Favoritism of our regiments in Kerman has led to an animosity from regiments in the neighbouring state of Null State. They are requesting that all regiments should be treated equally. It's funny when little things like this just sort of go under the radar, isn't it? Null State. These soldiers are merely a bunch of attention-seeking complainers hoping to get a little extra pay for not much more work. It is their job to fight and ours to say against who. Is that not whom? Soldiers can't be trusted to make difficult decisions like these. This is what the armed forces want. The armed forces at the moment, I think I'm bolstering them at the moment because I want them a little bit higher. They're on 9 at the moment. This would increase their approval by 2. This would give me additional offense and defense. Alternatively, this will lower my bureaucracy. I don't really want to do that, so let's choose that first one. So here we are in episode 2, where we're just taking a little bit of a dip in terms of military action, and that's purely because I need to build up my navy for 2 things. Like I say, I need to build up my navy to increase power projection, which will allow me to go to war with Afghanistan, and I also need to build up my navy in order to be able to carry out a successful naval invasion of Oman. Kokand, Bukhara, Khiva, Kalat, Makara, they're all vassals now. Although I could actually go to war with Oman and take that, but I feel like there's no point doing that. I might as well just that's disbanded. So if we have a quick look at our laws, tenant farmers, I'm not sure what the benefit. An agitator appears, national militia. Well, we definitely don't want that. I'm tempted to just kick him. Oh, I can't kick him out. This action can be taken once every 5 years. Character ideology is too similar to that of our ruler. So this guy over here, the Shah, he shares some of the views there, and so he's not willing to kick him out. And I don't actually have Secret Service at the moment. If I did have Secret Service, I could just arrange his assassination. Let's see if we can do that now. At least National Guard. Let's see if we could get. We've currently got righteous government, which is fantastic. That's why loyalists are so high. I wonder what would happen if I brought in the armed forces. You know, that's not a massive dip. It would be if I take them out. If I just bring the armed forces in here, let's do that, because that would still be all right. And then I've got poor laws. I could even go for dedicated police force, and that would just reduce the landowner's power a little bit. So this is a good reason to bring these in. I could get National Guard. Could even do that first. Let's do National Guard first. Secret Police I can't do because I haven't got Central Archives yet. Right, okay. The intelligentsia are not that strong. Okay, we'll see how we get on with National Guard. Quite like National Guard. I like Secret Service even more, so that we can kill agitators like that. So paper is still expensive, but we're working on that now. Let's put on fast speed for a minute. I'd like to take it straight back down to 3. Honestly, I'm a little bit like this. I just changed my mind really quickly because I'm thinking I want to line up a few more here. So what do I need? Well, I could look down at the military shipyard here and see if it's got everything it needs. It could use more logs because we have got more. We're just over the buy orders on the sell orders. That's why it's quite expensive. So I could expand the logging. Oh, I can't actually expand the logging camps now. Are they fully staffed? No, they're not. That's because tools are really expensive. Maybe I could open another tool workshop here. Let's have a quick look at our current tool workshops. See if we can bring the costs down a little bit. Current tool workshops are in Tabriz, and the local cost of wood is a little bit high. We've got a massive amount of iron mines here in Kerman, so if I opened a tool workshop and then yeah, I think that's going to increase the demand for iron. You can see here that tools, yeah, I think it might be a really good idea to open a tool workshop in Kerman, so let's do that next. I'm just flying through this and I didn't even see what that said. It was some kind, they want me to establish a university here as well, so I will actually do that. And it needs to be level 2 as well, so I will actually do that. I'll do that fairly soon, actually. Maybe I'll queue that up. I'll queue that up. We'll get a university opened in Tabriz, because that's going to allow us to quickly get the peasants from the subsistence farms and get them into jobs. National Guard is about to trigger. Progressed, excellent. So if we cover this, we can see the last one was a success. There's a 10.5% chance of a success, 68.4% chance of a debate, so that was quite lucky. Let's put it back on to 5. As soon as these paper mills kick off, I'm then going to upgrade my government buildings. Let's have a look at Kerman again. Let's have a look at the naval base. We're doing really well there. That means if I look at this, we're now on 10. I think I might expand these again. So we've currently got 10 frigates, and it's all based in Kerman. It's telling us we don't have... There's no issue with servicemen. We've got 8,000 labourers, job seekers. Yeah, so we've got 8,000 labourers. They're probably jumping across from places like, yeah, the fishing wharves, mainly the fishing wharves, isn't it? Military shipyards. Some of them are unemployed. And they're going to be jumping across into servicemen, because every time a serviceman pops up here, it immediately disappears. So they're all getting employed in the Navy, which is fantastic. So I'll actually 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is going to be a huge boom for the military shipyards. Ali Mamanda has offered to spend some of their personal wealth to fund the creation of a university in Kerman, though this will likely give the industrialists some influence. Well, I actually want that. And that means that I can remove that from the queue, because I was going to build it in Tabriz, so we've got it in Kerman now. So that's actually, let's just see what this one does as well. In the midst of the debate surrounding National Guard, one of the country's leading playwrights, strongly associated with the petit bourgeois, has staged a widely acclaimed play whose politically laden theme makes no secret of the author's desire for the law to be passed. So that'll give us a 10%. That'll increase the attraction, but it won't give us any chance to it. I definitely want to go for the prestige should be good, because that might mean, I think I'm going to go for the first one, although that prestige would be good because it would lead us towards being able to increase our rank. So that says it'll increase it by 20, and if it increases it by 20, that puts us on 126. That means I can go to war with Afghanistan. I'll just pause it for a second. If I've understood it correctly, that would make me an unrecognised major power, and that means that I would be able to go to war with Afghanistan. They've currently got battalions 50 conscripts. My army is currently 52, and it's line infantry. Can I have a look? You used to be able to click on this, didn't you? And then you could scroll down to barracks. 20 irregular infantry, 5 cavalry, so they have got the cavalry. I guess it's the east side of Afghanistan where they've got the majority of their forces, so the 20 isn't that what I've just looked at? Oh no, they've got 20 in each one. So I actually think I could take Afghanistan if I've understood that correctly, and if I click this, 20 prestige, that now gives me prestige 128. So does that mean I'm going to become yeah, so I've just jumped up to rank 16. So does that mean now that if I click on this I can make a tributary? Right, okay. So I think I'm going to go to war with Afghanistan now. So if I click on Afghanistan and go to their diplomacy, they're improving relations, but they don't have any defensive pacts or anything like that. So if I click on this one, it doesn't look like anybody's really going to side with them either. This is not really guaranteed though, is it? I mean, I've looked at that before and thought, nobody's going to side with them, and then somebody did. If they sided with them, they've got like 150. So if they side with them, then it's going to do me a disservice. I think I'm going to do it. It's going to give me 19.4 infamy. Because I'm not going to save. There's like no, I'm not going to like sort of save and then reload kind of thing. So I'm just going to do it, and we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, I had to force that diplomatic play because they're simply not going to accept it. So I'll do it. There we go. Let's put it back on. So I'm just going to mobilise the army and get them straight to the front line. I've obviously got vassals who can come in and help me. I might even do something like this. Let's have a look. So sugar import. I think sugar's relatively cheap in my market. It is. So let's give them supplements. This will increase their morale recovery. There's tobacco, liquor, and opium. Let's have a look. Liquor is incredibly cheap. Oh, what the hell? I didn't realise exactly how much sugar that was actually going to give them, so let's get rid of that. I hope that hasn't had like a negative impact on their morale now, because you sort of give them it and then take it back off them again. Well, we've got a massive amount of liquor, so surely that's not going to be an issue. Let's give them that. Let's slow this down a second. The proposal for National Guard is sat in a deadlock. The armed forces have advocated for enlisting Abolagazm assistant in rallying the rural folk in favour of the government. I don't have an issue with this really, because I think, like, if I just pause it for a second and go over to government and have a look and take a look at rural folk and some of the laws that they would support. Per capita taxation is something they would support. Dedicated police force is something they would support. So I don't really have a problem with that at all. So I'm definitely going to do the first one, because it gives a huge boost to enactment as well. They're uncertain. There's still a lot of people sitting on the fence, including China, Russia and Britain, so you know, this is by no means in the bag. A couple of people declaring neutrality, so that's nice. But yeah, if one of these big countries joins, then I'm screwed. Hopefully they don't, because it would be nice. Afghanistan, if we take a look at their information, look at their GDP, it's massive. So that means that this 4.06 that I'm currently getting from the other vassals is just going to get a huge boost. Great Britain, Russia both declared neutrality. Let's fast forward a little bit. Well, we've got tool workshops, and then we're going to be working on our naval bases again, and then after that it'll be Oman. It's getting a little bit dark, isn't it? It was really bright when I started this. There we go. It's the summer nights now, so it is actually really nice out there now, when the skies are not white. Yeah, nobody's. Yeah, there's the Sikh Empire who could potentially come in. British East India Company that could potentially come in. Makran is actually my vassal, so hopefully they will not. Are they a happy vassal? Because yeah, they are loyal. I've got a lot of influence at the moment, so maybe I can begin improving relations with Britain, and maybe even another one. Let's have a look. Yeah, maybe do France as well, and then over here maybe something like Egypt, because although Egypt and the Ottoman Empire are kind of rivals, aren't they? And I'm actually on good terms with the Ottoman Empire. How's it looking for liquor? Because so liquor's actually become far more expensive now. It's still cheap. So they have actually got a slightly bigger force. I I've just noticed none of my allies have come in, so that means none of like Kiva, Bukhara, none of them have actually joined, which is disappointing. Let's have a quick look at my army again and just make sure that so he hasn't actually got any. Yeah, he doesn't actually have any special orders. He's got adamant defense. I don't know if that's... National Guard is pushed ever onward. What the hell's going on? For some reason, my stream is blank. I have no idea why it's blank. OBS tells me I'm still streaming. It tells me I'm offline on Twitch. I've got one viewer, so I can't imagine they're just going to be sat there looking at a blank screen unless they've gone away from the computer or something. If that one viewer can actually see anything, can you just let me know in chat? Because it's actually just a black screen on mine now. It says that it's like excellent bandwidth and stuff, but it's just like a black screen on Twitch. That's weird. It also says session 31 minutes, but then it says I'm offline, so I'm not really sure what's going on now. Yeah, I can see it on OBS, and it does say I'm streaming. So, yeah, I don't really know what's going on with the screen on Twitch there. Not to worry. So the war in Afghanistan looks like it's going well. Yeah, it is slightly worrying that I've got like a blank screen there on Twitch. Anyway. Yep, the war in Afghanistan's going really well. I'll just activate that so we can see how far we are anyway to a peace deal. We've had a couple of victories. We're currently in the middle of it. There's a battle going on in the western part of Afghanistan. Okay, so we've got minting, so that's pushed us up into a positive. I think it might be a good idea to try and push out more tools now. We're almost done with mechanical tools. I'll tell you what, I'm going to go for an atmospheric engine now, in fact. Yeah, radicalism's quite low, so standard of living's not an issue at the moment, so otherwise I would have gone for like food or something that would maybe make people happy. Yeah, so that's going really well. What's this? We've got trade route exporting, luxury close to the Afghan market is inactive. Oh, was I actually trading with Afghanistan? I didn't realise. The proposal for National Guard has sat in a deadlock. The armed forces have advocated for enlisting, again, that person's name, assistance in rallying the route. It's the same as last time. So again, I can just go for 20%. Let's have a look at how powerful are they. They're not massively powerful, and it will massively increase our chances of getting that success. I think what I might do is I might actually end the stream and restart it again, because I'm not really sure if anything is actually coming out on the stream. The preview is just like blank and it says offline, so I don't really know. Again, there's like one viewer, but I have no idea what that viewer is staring at. Alright, so it looks like Afghanistan's pretty much on the verge of collapse. I'm going to cancel the stream and I'm going to restart it again, just to make sure that it's working. Well, it still says offline. Yeah. Well, my lone viewer has vanished. Anyway. Yes, so I did have an export, apparently, to Afghanistan. We're obviously going to cancel that now because they're going to be in my market anyway. Speaking of which, let's have a quick look at that. So if you have a look at Afghanistan and look at their market, let's see. They've got an abundance of fabric, which makes me think that the cotton plantations in Kerman were unnecessary. Lots of liquor, opium. They're not really going to help out as far as wood's concerned. But if we take a look at this and at their buildings, we can see that there's a lot of potential for coal. A lot of potential for iron. There's National Guard. How are we doing? Are they going to accept peace? Almost. We can see that Afghanistan is completely controlled now. They're heading back. I have no idea really what that means in realistic terms. When you've got an army over here of 60 and then my army of 52 is back home, I'm not really sure what that means, like in realism terms. Surely this army would then be sort of like recapturing territory, so I'm not really sure what that means. But anyway, we've conquered Afghanistan. We can propose that peace deal now. And Afghanistan, I'm immediately going to improve relations with them because obviously they don't like me anymore. But I want to make sure that all my vassals are happy. And look at the massive boost we've got there. 1.96 just from Afghanistan alone, so that's nice. Kalat was the first. I can actually reduce autonomy now, and if I did that, there's a 75% chance that they would accept. I'm not going to risk, even though it's 75%, I'm not going to risk it. I'm getting money from them. As soon as it's 100%, then I'll turn them into full vassals. At the moment, everybody's just a tributary, but I'll turn them into full vassals as soon as I can. Mechanical tools. So we can now open our steel industries. We've got a university, but this needs to be level 2. And how are we doing in terms of full? Yeah, they're fully employed. So let's add that to our queue. So as soon as the naval bases are finished in Kerman, we're immediately going to go for the university, and then that'll satisfy our journal entry there. Establish university. The world is changing rapidly, and if we cannot keep up with the latest technological, societal, and military advances, we will fall into the background of history. So yeah, we're gonna complete that one. That's not going to be an issue. There's currently investment in glass in Arabistan. If we have a look at the local prices, glass isn't. Oh, well, I suppose it is. So yeah, so Afghanistan, we're now improving relations with Afghanistan. We're right up here. We are actually charging increased taxation at the moment. If we reduce that, then we would go into a deficit, so I'm going to keep it like that for now. We got National Guard. I'm going to move straight on to dedicated police force now before we get any lower. So let's go straight on to the dedicated police force. Try and reduce the power of the landowners. Bureaucracy is right down, but what's our paper like? Paper is still expensive. So if we have a look into Briz, in fact, if I go into paper and click on this and then go to local prices, we can see it's actually extortionate. This is actually everybody now. Everybody in our market now, isn't it? Kerman is paper's incredibly expensive. So you know what? I think down in Kerman here, I think I'll open. We've got 23,000 peasants, and there's maybe yes. Lots of labourers. I think if we open a paper merchant, or a paper mill I should say, down here, that should be fine. I'll put it back on speed 5 again, of course. So yeah, we'll get a paper mill opened here as well. The problem is the paper mill is going to require oh well, actually we've unlocked sulfite now, and there are sulfur mines in Kerman, so let's open our first sulfur mine and expand it a little bit as well. We're doing atmospheric engine, so we're going to want coal mines up and running soon as well. Unfortunately, our dedicated police force is stalled in the introduction phase. To outside observers, the armed forces may appear firmly committed to the idea of dedicated police force, but behind this facade of unity, discord has long festered. Now a clique of dissenters has finally had enough and have officially broken with their fellow members over the issue of reform. For how long have we stood together? How many times have we lent a willing hand your way? Yet our own concerns are left unanswered and our desires left unmet. If we shall not be heard, we shall be so elsewhere. I think I'm going to go for offer them custodianship over a new draft. It's going to reduce their strength, but yeah, but I am bolstering them, so we have got a setback, but it has bolstered us a little bit towards success. So the next time, hopefully debate. I mean, obviously if we got lucky, 14.5% chance of success, so we'll see. How's our naval yards doing down here? 15,500, got another 4,500 left to employ. Man o' wars are becoming more expensive but still reasonably priced. That's why we're in a positive, I guess. This is a war between South India and Britain. If I was to side with Britain, does that... well, I can't by the looks of it, because Persia has no offer of support. It's not possible to take sides during the opening. So later on I might be able to. If I was to offer support to Britain, I'm not sure if that does any... well, it's telling me it doesn't even want my support anyway, so I'll just declare neutrality then. Let's take a look at our market again, because now that we've brought Afghanistan in, things have shifted a little bit. Coffee? There aren't that many buy orders. Look at clothes. I mean, there's a lot of money to be made there. So let's have a quick look at the textile mills. Mass immigration into Tabriz of North Caucasians. Culture is not discriminated, so that's fine. That means that there's a lot of peasants, a lot of job seekers. So what was I just looking at there? Textile mills, wasn't I? So we've now got dye workshops. That's going to be a good move. So now I think as well with us here, if we click on this one, we can see that we've got Isfahan and Kerman, and they get you've got the Oasis, the Bam Namashir Oasis, and you've got cobalt deposits because of, well, cobalt deposits. So yeah, we've got bonuses to both of those places. Lots of peasants unemployed here. Local prices. Yeah, so I imagine the population here is not particularly happy. Well, the slaves, as you would expect, are not particularly happy. Buildings into Britain. Let's have a look at Isfahan buildings. And what would be, if I was to open some dye, productivity is not going to be amazing there, so... Desperate allies. The proposal for dedicated police force, yeah, blah blah blah. Let's have a look. So this will boost it up by 20%, which is a good move, and it's going to empower the rural folk, which I need for per capita taxation, and even this dedicated police force, they support that as well. So it's a shame that the Steam preview on Twitch, the stream preview on Twitch is blank. I have no idea whether that means it's just a blank screen, because OBS has told me that everything's fine. So huge dip, we've gone into the deficit. Let's have a look at different stuff here. Goods for government buildings, that's quite low. Yeah, paper is the only expense at the moment really. Small arms. So there's our journal thing completed. The Shah himself has officially opened the University of Kerman. Academia is beginning to flourish. Philosophy is the highest calling of mankind. Through philosophy, slightly distracted there by the shortage of man o' wars. I'll tell you what, instead of reading that bit, the flavour text, I'll just get straight onto a decision. University throughput would increase. So click on this, we can see Kerman doesn't have enough education, so that would be a good move to increase the throughput. Empiricism towards medical degrees, that would also be really good, but I think I'm going to go for this just to see if we can get people educated as quickly as possible into the jobs. So we've got a shortage. We've only got one military shipyard in Persia, and that's here, and yeah, this is going to resolve itself very soon, I think. That is still under the average price, iron, so that's not going to be an issue. But as this increases, those prices are going to, so I'll put on a faster speed. We'll we'll expand the iron mine. Sulfur mines are going to be opening, and then I'm going to increase, I'm going to upgrade yeah, that reminds me, let's go back to our buildings here, because I was changing some stuff. So dye workshops, that's going to make dyes quite expensive. And Kerman down here has a boost as well to dyes, so we can 18.9 peasants, 14.9 compared to 130. So actually we'll open the dye workshops here. We'll expand it a little bit as well. Our laws gone up to consideration, so that's nice. So now if we go to our market, which is of course this one, we can see that now the Persian market is quite expansive. It covers all of this area here. Let's have a look at the Sikh Empire. Got my eyes on a. So they are stronger than we are. Diplomacy wise, their rivals. You see, the Sikh Empire would be another fantastic target for me. Look at their GDP. This would be a massive boost to our income. Problem is they've got a stronger military than us at the moment, so I do need to focus on that as well. My military has a lot of room for growth. If I look at this, grain, small arms and iron, so let's just take a look at our grain is a little bit expensive, iron a little bit expensive, small arms are about average price. So if I expand that now, if we also have a look and see where the majority of our development, I'm getting distracted by different things. I want to do 100 different things at once here. So barracks, yeah, so the majority of our barracks we're pretty much spread all over the place here. It does that at the beginning of the game, but I would actually like to focus my barracks all in one place really. Sistan is struggling to hire, so we certainly won't add any more there. I think in the north, I think Khorasan here would be a good place to. If I was to open an arms industry here, no, it's not going to be productive. I'll tell you what, we're just going to open some barracks in Tabriz. So let's go to our army screen. We don't have any capacity to build artillery yet, but I am going to do that in a minute. So let's instead go for cavalry, and let's focus on Tabriz. Let's do 5. And we already know that the arms industries, so yeah, it's hardwood. It's hardwood that they're short on. So we're going to come down to the logging camps in Mazandaran, sorry. And we're going to expand them. That's going to put more strain on our tool industry. However, I think we can now actually expand our tool industry. We can into steel, but unfortunately we haven't opened any steel mills yet. So let's go back to Tabriz and let's open our first steel mill. Steel requires coal and iron, and so let's open our first coal mines straight after we open that steel mill. And I'll just use imports until we open our coal mines. Lawmakers working towards the enactment of dedicated police force have found themselves mired in particularly complex set of bureaucracy. So this is a stall event, unfortunately. My bureaucracy is terrible at the moment. You know what? I think I'm just gonna have to go for the first one. It doesn't count as a setback. It's a stall, and that's not too bad actually. So that's fine. Paper. Still incredibly expensive. We've got 80 sell orders and 130 buy orders. Our paper mill in Kerman is just about to unlock. Let's go in fast speed. Sulfur mines in Kerman as well. So this is going to be good because I'm going to... is it Kerman where we've got our... We don't have any government administration there at all, but we don't necessarily need it at the moment. It's mainly to Briz where we need to expand. So if we go to development, I could just move up to filing cabinets, but it is going to cause a shortage of paper, so I can't do that yet. So that is something. So in Kerman now, I would imagine that the paper mill is up and running. It's like hitting the, yeah, it's hit the floor running because it's just such huge demand for paper at the moment. Mass communications increasing my authority. Yeah, no problem recruiting here because we've got massive, we've got a bustling jobs market. Oh, they are struggling, and that's because the cost of paper's gone down. But if I just quickly go to here and move up to filing cabinets, we're going to initially have a shortage of paper, I think. This is a debate event, so the proposal for dedicated police forces sat in deadlock. These repeated events are going to make the rural folk ever more powerful, but I'm fine with it, I think. What's this one? So he is a member of the armed forces and he's a royalist. I'm not really a fan of royalists, whether that be in real life or in this game, and I'm not really a fan of that either. That would reduce his popularity, which I do like. I'll tell you what, we'll go for this one. We'll slander the opposition. I've got one viewer there. If you can hear me, if you are watching this and you're not just like, you've not just wandered away from the PC, can you just confirm whether you can see the game? Because Twitch is just showing me a blank screen and telling me I'm offline, but OBS is telling me I'm online, so I have no idea whether you can even see the gameplay. But if you're the same viewer as before, I don't even know if you're watching. I wonder why that happens. I wonder why my flag still remains over Afghanistan. It doesn't do that with the other countries, and Macron, it does there. So we've got our first sulfur mine open, so now I can go to our paper industries. Furniture, I've got the lathes there. That's going to make tools ever more expensive, but it's also going to increase employment for middle strata and lower strata. Go on, we'll do that. I'm not going to touch glassware until I get bone china, because then we'll have the opportunity to open lead and stuff. It's not going to be very good in the short term. Paper mills, I can move up to sulfite now. That's going to put a huge strain on sulfur, and then in the early stages it's actually going to cause a shortfall. So into let's see, I might actually do it in Kerman, and we've got that shortfall, but our sulfur mines now are hugely in demand, and so they're going to be able to employ very easily, and so that shortfall is going to be picked up relatively soon. Yeah, I think my sole viewer, I think, may not even be watching. So, great, dedicated police force has moved up to adoption. We're now producing 2 tons of sulfur, which is enough because we currently have buy orders of 4 tons required. I don't know how that works as well. I mean, ultimately, if you have more buy orders than you do sell orders, then presumably there's a shortfall, but in this, it doesn't seem to work like that. Instead, it just makes it expensive to get hold of. Anyway, we've got 3 tons now. It's Saturday, coming up to Monday morning, so 4 tons. So we're doing all right there. In fact, we may even be able to upgrade the paper mills here as well to sulfite. And I think we will. I think we'll do that. Or maybe not. Maybe not. I have already upgraded, yeah, all of them are now government administration to filing cabinets. So I do feel like I need to expand to Briz. Let's do another 3, so I've got 6. And that should hopefully take care of that. And I do actually want to introduce some new institutions as well. So that's a double whammy. I want to get rid of the taxation deficit, and I also want to be able to introduce some new institutions. What institutions do I want to have? Let's put that on speed 5. I wouldn't mind getting, this is not an institution of course, but I wouldn't mind getting this up and running to per capita. If I do that, look at the massive boost, 7.52. In order to do that, I need either, well, I could do it with the armed forces. As soon as this law goes through, I need to be jumping straight onto per capita taxation. That's what I need to be doing. We do also have an infrastructure, yes. We haven't got, let's do a boost to the ports. This will give us more convoys as well. So let's just maximize. Tell you what, minimize that. Let's go back down to just 3. So we've got that. Let's jump straight in. Now why can't I do that? Persia must not have an traditionalism. I need to get rid of traditionalism. And for that, I'm going to need the rural folk. And we don't have romanticism to be able to get agrarianism. And we're not going to be able to get the industrialists into government anytime soon. So I think we need to look at, as soon as the atmospheric engine's done, I need to jump over to society, and I need to there it is, romanticism, and that's going to give us the greener grass campaign, yeah, and that's the agrarianism. So yeah, that's going to be my next one. So in 5 months we're going to jump straight onto romanticism. How are we looking in government? Because I did take a hit, 69, so yeah, we have. Unfortunately, even if I lower taxes, it's not quite going to hit up there, and it will put us into a massive deficit as well. So I don't actually think I need the armed forces in government. Our loyalists will drop, but not a significant number. So I think it might be worth removing the armed forces for the time being. And I think I'll bolster the rural folk. I've got a lot of authority, you know, I might even just boost the industrialists as well. Alright, we're just hammering through this. I'm not going to add anything else to this construction queue because I want to keep it, I want to be efficient, and by the time you get down to here, generally speaking, the situation's changed, and I end up changing my mind about what I want to build. So I definitely need the steel mills. Yeah, definitely want to bolster my barracks, because I would like to go to war with the Sikh Empire as well, and I want to do that relatively soon. Sindh is also a good target. They're not improving relations with me. If I was to make them a tributary, again, it doesn't look like anybody's going to get involved. Let's have a look at their market. What have they got a lot of? Tiny little bit of iron, a lot of sugar. They've got some hardwood. Again, a lot of fabric. Some food. Yeah, so it looks as if they can contribute a little bit to our market. Just not sure if it's worth doing that just yet. Market access in Kerman, which is a pretty important province for me, is incredibly low. So I've already enacted road maintenance and that's not touching it. So to be honest with you, anything that's for Kerman, yeah, those ports, I actually think I'm going to need to boost them to the top. Now as for the ports, if I was to jump up to cargo port there's going to be a shortage of clippers. So if I have a quick look, how many shipyards do we actually have? And I'm not even sure if we don't even have any. We haven't even opened any shipyards yet. Fabric and wood, and it does contribute towards infrastructure as well, so I think I might actually open the shipyards in Arabistan. Let's have a quick look. Do we get any bonuses here? I mean, it makes more sense to have them in Kerman. It's going to contribute to our... I'll tell you what, we're going to open some shipyards in Kerman. So we've got a couple of ports being built. And what we'll do is... there's atmospheric engine. So we're going to jump straight across to romanticism, and we need agrarianism brought in. So now we can have a look again at that screen, and we can see that iron is quite expensive, but in order to boost that up I need coal. So let's open our first coal mine relatively soon as well. Let's do it immediately after. Let's do it there. Stick it on speed 5. Just checking out my stream again, it's just completely black, no idea why it's doing that. Oh, what we got here, sorry. The Bedouin students sometimes use their native language in Persian schools. Some have called for teachers to penalise the use of these languages, forcing children to speak the official language of Persia. That would increase assimilation. We can see we've got more radicals now. The majority of that is probably from discrimination, isn't it? Yeah, the majority is from discrimination. I wouldn't mind reducing that, and I think I can afford that. Yeah, we can afford that. Let's reduce the discrimination. Mobile artillery and lancers. Alright. Anyway, I think I'm going to wrap this up now. We've been going for about an hour, maybe even longer. So we've taken Afghanistan. They are now a tributary. Kalat was the first one I took on. If I reduce their autonomy, they'll just accept that. So let's confirm that. It'll give me a little bit of infamy, but that's fine. Khiva, I think they were the second ones that I took on, and they'll accept that as well. So let's do that. Bukhara, they'll accept it. My infamy is still quite low. Kokand, reduce. They'll accept that as well. Makran, they'll accept that as well. So they are now all official vassals. Afghanistan was only conquered in this episode, which means they're not ready to become a vassal yet. and that's helped with our deficit because now we're getting almost 10k just from diplomatic pacts, so that's pretty good. So in this episode we conquered Afghanistan. We are going to be building up our military so that we can conquer the Sikh Empire, and I also want to build up my navy so that I can in fact, can I even turn them into a tributary? No, I can't. I never thought, because the Sikh Empire are also an unrecognised major power like me, so I'm not going to be able to go to war with them just yet. So what I'll probably do in the next episode is I will continue building up my navy, then I'll be able to conquer Oman, and with the increased naval capacity I will then increase my prestige, which will allow me to go to war with the Sikh Empire and turn them into a tributary, and that's the plan for the next episode. So yeah, if you've checked this out, thanks for watching. My stream has been blank throughout for some reason, don't know why that happens, but anyway, yeah, I'll see you in the next episode.